Okay, I believe we have gone live. Just give me 1 second to see if we are in fact live. All right, here it is. This is our typical 1 a.m. live stream. Mostly, I'm here to take a moment to say thank you for everybody who has thus far been part of the streams, and also a reminder that on January 21st, we have got a 24-hour content marathon. Let me just do a quick sound check here. Give me 1 second. We are good. So what that means is I'm going to be doing my best to do content on multiple different platforms for a 24-hour period. It's going to be, amongst other things, a chance for me. Really, the goal of this is to try my best to grow my channel, grow Screen Campus Promotions, across multiple platforms. But we are going to start 2 p.m. January 21st, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Screen Campus Promotions YouTube channel. And then from there, we are going to be talking about, oops, and forgive me for that. There we go. So we'll start here on YouTube, and then from there, we'll be going on to multiple different channels and multiple different venues and streams. I may try some stuff on Discord. I may try some stuff on X. I may try some stuff on Twitch. The goal is to try as many different things as I can within that 24-hour period and produce as much content as I can. During which time, again, we'll be talking about Freemasonry. The plan is to start with some special. I feel like this is weirdly got a weird stain on there. No, it's all right. Start with talking about some breathing exercises, mindfulness exercises. I've been arguing, hello, Bama Yard Dog. I've been arguing for years, or at least years on this year, it feels like, that Freemasons should spend the first 15, 20 minutes of every meeting engage in some type of mindfulness exercise or breathing exercise. So we're going to practice that. We're going to talk about Masonic history, going to talk about ways to grow Freemasonry, a lot of things. It's going to be a lot of fun. I do not believe that electricity will end and will return back to the old style living. I do sometimes question how much more technological advancement we can expect. My suspicions is what we're going to see is at a certain point, the most important things are not going to be our technological advancements. At a certain point, the most important thing is going to be advancements in terms of how we relate to each other. And that's going to be it. So that's my theory on that. I do not know what Mr. Green, the Grand Illusion is, but Mr. Green, please hit that like and subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it. And I hope that, again, you'll mark your calendars and join me January 21st, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern for a 24-hour content marathon. I'm going to be producing content on multiple platforms, but we're going to start right here on YouTube. There, I may go onto other platforms, other servers, and just try to grow there as well, because I want to make sure that within Freemasonry, I find a way to grow as much as I can within my different channels, within my different avenues, social media and whatnot. January 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern. So basically tomorrow at this point, because it's 1 a.m., January 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern. Well, if that case, I would definitely lose Mr. Fox, because I would lose very quickly. I don't even know if lose is the right term. There's no way I could do a 24-hour stream and maintain speech with, less than 5-second breaks. Very sorry. Bud. Well, I'm not a fraud. I've been a Freemason since 2007, so 20 years almost. And I'm not trying to advertise Freemasonry. My goal is not to advertise Freemasonry. It's to talk about why I love Freemasonry, promote the ways Freemasonry was and is relevant to the communities in which it's located. If I don't if I never get anybody to join from watching this stream, I would not consider that a failure. the purpose of this channel is not to promote Freemasonry. In some sense, is to promote my views on Freemasonry, and why I love it and why I think it's valuable. But that's in the same way if I started a YouTube channel to talk about my favorite movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm not starting that with the desire to, nobody else has to watch that movie. I love it and I want to talk about it. That should be good enough. Um, nice, Bama Yard Dog. That sounds like it'd be awesome. Um, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy the Civil War winter camp. I belong to 5 Masonic lodges, so quite a few. I was initiated and raised in Windsor Lodge 403. I'm currently the past master of Windsor Lodge and Harmony Lodge. I'm also the current master of Border Cities Lodge, number 554. I'm also an affiliate member of Tranquility Lodge 2000 out of Texas and Lodge Holy Land number 50 out of Israel. Serene, I have no clue how much Freemasonry is worth based on assets and investments. No idea. Because Freemasonry is not a centralized organization, right? There's not a single governing body that has control of the quote unquote assets and investments of Freemasonry. Every Grand Lodge is its unique jurisdiction, which has its own unique control over, for example, the assets. I would say the majority of assets Freemasonry has, based on my experience, are based on property investments. It's the buildings that they own. And even then, very rarely does the Grand Lodge own the building. Usually it's owned by a separate organization or corporation. Um, well, we do not participate in any abuse of anyone. That's not what Freemasonry does. Kine, I think you're a very foolish person, and a very dumb person. Well, I mean, if the Grand Lodge disbanded, that would not result in necessarily the loss of any buildings except for a single building, which would be the building in which the Grand Lodge meets and operates. The rest of the buildings, though, would still be owned by separate corporations. Usually they're Masonic corporations, but they're not under the jurisdiction of the Grand Lodge. Um, what does Freemasonry have to say about boredom? Honestly, I hope that you're not bored by this stream. Having said that, 654-3739. One way to avoid boredom is hit the like and subscribe button. But I'll give you a legitimate answer. I think one thing that Freemasonry teaches you is sometimes being bored is not the worst thing in the world. Sometimes part of doing things and organizing things and helping people is doing boring work, and that's okay, right? That's part of life. In order to get to the fun stuff, you have to be willing to put in the work. And sometimes the work is hard, sometimes the work is boring. It doesn't mean it's not valuable. Happy birthday to Rio. I was just in Rio de Janeiro. So DX Mobile, please hit like and subscribe. Hail the Forest. Well, I hope, Disciple, you'll hit the like and subscribe button. I do not know what a hog reveal is, liability. You look like the bit. I do not know what that means either. Liability, when you repeat yourself over and over again, I have a tendency to put people on timeout. So, Owie, it sounds to me like you are Christian, and good for you. Freemasonry is not a religion, but we have many Christian members. So, yeah. It's not a religion of any sort. We have Christian members, Jewish members, Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, etc., etc. Okay. I'm just hanging out, waiting to see who wants to jump in the chat to say hello. We do not ever recruit private military. I don't even know what that would look like. I mean, you mean like security? I mean, there are some times, Serene, if the lodge is, let's say, in a country where there's challenges, they may have security guarding the building, especially, let's say overnight, something like that. If the building is closed, they may have security. Maybe in some cases they're ex-military. I have no idea, but I mean, I don't really know. I do not know for what reason you recruit private military or, most events I've been to have not involved security. There are some buildings which, again, will use security guards, especially if there's an issue with crime in the area. Um, what I am, Ivy, is handsome. That's what matters. Billy Shears, they will if you hit the like and subscribe button. They will definitely make another Men in Black movie if you hit the like and subscribe button. So keep that in mind. Please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. Well, now I think I'm guessing what a hog reveal is. Joe, you're on your own, but hit that like and subscribe button nonetheless. I cannot do a kickflip, Ivy Drip. I have no legs. I'm in a wheelchair, so I don't see a kickflip in my future. Hello, Kenny Strangeville. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. Cole, thank you for being here. Please hit like and subscribe. Mark David, please hit like and subscribe or follow or whatever it is. I never had them, Bilbo Baggins. I was born this way. I was born missing my legs, so I never had them to lose. And honestly, I don't feel like I lost anything. I like who I am. No legs and all. Well, if you give, let's say if I get another 20 subscribers during the stream, I will do a kickflip. I mean, that's why I don't go to the Amazon to attend any ritualistic ceremonies, nor have I ever been invited to attend the Amazon, either as a Freemason or anything else. Now, I suppose if I went with like an expedition and I knew it was relatively safe, I might consider it, but I don't want to be eaten. Um, well, for that, we're going to have to go 500 subscribers on in the next 30 seconds. If I can get 500 subs in the next 30 seconds. Well, thank you, Billy Shears. I much appreciate it. I hope everybody, though, is doing well. Thank you all for being here. Hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to mark on your calendar January 21st. So I guess one day from now at 2 p.m. Eastern, 24-hour content marathon. I'm going to be posting on various sites, various channels, various mediums for 24 hours, talking about Freemasonry, including ways that Freemasonry can grow, Masonic history. We'll be doing some mindfulness exercises. That's also Bell's Let's Talk Day. So we'll be talking about mental health a little bit. Erie, hit that like and subscribe button. Oscar, welcome. I'm actually a member of a Masonic lodge in Israel, Lodge Holy Land number 50 out of Tel Aviv, Israel, interestingly enough. So welcome. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Well, tonight, don't be like me and get yourself enough sleep. Try to find one good thing in every day if you can. Practice breathing exercises. Consider starting a journal. Those are tips that have at least helped me, but I'll give some more on the 21st. Find someone to talk to. Doesn't have to be a Masonic brother. Maybe you're not a Mason, but try to find someone. And if all else fails and you can't find anybody to talk to, consider calling a crisis line, including 988, if it gets really bad. They have a great restaurant? I don't think they do, Oscar. I didn't know they have a restaurant in their lodge building. Like, because they're part of the Grand Lodge building. I mean, they could. I was just in Bogota, Colombia, and their Grand Lodge has a really cool restaurant. It's a really beautiful spot. Hey, Mark, if that works for you, all the better. What I'd say is the most important thing is you have someone in your life. And if it's your wife, then more power to you. Hello, Aaron. I'm choosing you to hit the like and subscribe button. Stoning witches with crystals. Hit that like and subscribe button. Braveheart Masters, you're not alone because you're on this stream. And I appreciate you being here very much. Thank you for being here. Obviously, you can't rely on this stream in the way you might rely on a friend because it's not a 24-hour thing, but you're not alone right now, and I hope that you'll consider, if you ever do feel very alone, that you will consider contacting someone to talk to, even and including a crisis line. Um, I've wanted to join a lodge. I mean, if you want to join a lodge, the first step is find a Masonic lodge within your area and speak with them. To be one, ask one. So find the lodge in your area, express your interest in joining, and express why you're interested in joining. That's the key to joining Freemasonry, right? Is doing that. So, yeah, I hope that you will. I wish you best of luck in your I guess search for Masonic lodge. But at the start, don't think about it in terms of joining. Just think about it in terms of learning more about the lodge and getting more information, and you go from there. What is my most favorite things they do, Cole? I've sat in lodge with many people of different races, religions, ethnicities, backgrounds, languages, etc., including different skin colors. Bam. So that's my favorite thing about Freemasonry. Um, Bama Yard Dog, is its tolerance. I believe in many ways it represented the original Universal Tolerance Organization. It talked about this when concerning God and man, or sorry, concerning God and religion in the Anderson Constitution. It's about, it recognized and understood that society and the world to move forward, men cannot remain at a perpetual distance or be perpetually strangers. But we must find the way to tolerate, and not just tolerate, but respect one another based on brotherly love, kindness, and to be good men and true. Um, well, I don't know what race you are, but I'm proud to say Freemasonry does not discriminate. I've sat in lodge, again, with men of all different races. Um, just find a Masonic lodge within your area, make sure it's legitimate, and speak to them about joining. Um, Hello, River City Transit. By the way, I'm a huge fan of public transit. I don't know if that is to what your name is referring, but I think transit and having a decent transit system is one of the most important things you can have within any type of city. Interestingly, we're at 12 votes for this question. What does Freemasonry most need to grow? 3 votes for membership, 3 votes for attendance. Looks like 2 votes for, or 1 vote for finances, and 5 votes for other. Leave a comment. I mean, a legitimate lodge, if you're trying to find a legitimate lodge, the biggest thing in terms of what it looks like is you need to ask them the question, to which Grand Lodge are you chartered? And based on the answer they give, that's how you'll know if they're legitimate. That's the biggest thing. Just ask to see their charter. Keg Dog, I am handsome. That's what matters. Nothing else matters as much as the fact that I'm so handsome. Please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe button. And welcome. Freemasonry is not Jewish. Freemasonry is not a religion of any sort. Oh my gosh. I know a ton of Masons from Alberta. I can't think of any from Edmonton off the top of my head, but I know there's a Masonic lodge there and a Masonic building there. So you'll find them. Just type in Grand Lodge of Alberta. That's probably a good spot to find them. No, Caesar, and you should know that we do not we do not participate in any sacrifices of anything, children or otherwise. And if you believe we do, you are a foolish person. So 33rd degree, hello, Eric Hurley. 33rd degree Freemasonry is a real thing, but it's part of the Scottish Rite. It's not the highest degree in Freemasonry. The highest degree within Freemasonry is the 3rd degree. Getting the 33rd, in many ways, it's an honorific. River City, I mean, you need to be really careful. I'm trying to think of the way to say this right. I can't guarantee you that Freemasonry, I've seen it before. Actually, I don't know if I've seen the Catholic catechism on Freemasonry, but I've seen Humanum Genus. It is incorrect and full of baloney. Freemasonry may help you feel less stuck spiritually and less stuck in your career. Although you need to keep in mind, Freemasonry is not an inherently spiritual endeavor, at least in my opinion. We got some hearts. I think there might be smoky in the house. Having said that, Freemasonry has helped to make me feel unstuck at different times in my life. What I would say is at the start, just go speak to the lodge, express your interest in joining, and talk to them about why you want to join and kind of decide from there. It's kind of like me saying, listen to my favorite song, it'll make you feel better. I can't know for sure it'll make you feel better. All I can say is it's my favorite song and it makes me feel better. In the same way, I can't guarantee you that Freemasonry will help make you feel kind of unstuck in your life, but I can tell you for me, it's helped me feel unstuck in my life. We do not drink any blood. Um, BG, you foolish person. I mean, I have no issue with the Catholic Church. I think the Catholic Church, I know a lot of Catholic people who are, I even know some Catholic Freemasons, believe it or not. Um, Having said that, the Humanum Genus, which was written by Pope Leo the 13th in 1888, is unfortunately full of baloney. That doesn't mean the faith itself is full of baloney. Again, I have great respect for Catholics and Protestants and Jewish people and Freemasonry. However, in my opinion, the Catholic view on Freemasonry is full of a misunderstanding of what Freemasonry is and how it operates. Um, and like I said, I've known many Catholic Freemasons. Now, again, I understand that the rule as it operates in 2026, unless anything's changed, is that if you are officially, if you are a Catholic, if you're a Freemason, you are not able to take communion in a Catholic church. Um, but I know many Catholic Freemasons who they either maybe they don't tell the priest that they're a Freemason, or it could also be the case that the priest chooses to look the other way, or who knows how it works. Um, Eric Hurley, I mean, it incorporates a lot of symbolism of a variety of sorts, right? It incorporates a lot of symbolism of Eastern mythology, Egyptian mysticism, um, um, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, um, Chinese mythology. Primarily, what I'd say it incorporates, though, is architectural symbolism, as well as architectural symbolism and stone masonry, stone Masonic symbolism. Um, um, I mean, Freemasons are not into the occult. I've never met any Freemasons that are into the occult. Andy Firecone, welcome from Victoria 4629. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing very well. Um, Romish institutions, I mean, I would say again, the institutions may or may not be, but within Freemasonry, we are not hostile towards them. We're vegetarians. We don't want beef with anybody. I do this because I love Freemasonry and I love talking on streams. You look like a Mason. I don't know if that's a positive thing or a negative thing, but okay, I'll take it. Um, what are the benefits of Freemasonry, Caesar? Um, well, I mean, Caesar, you don't have to trust Freemasonry. That's perfectly fine. I hope maybe as you go through this, um, you at least trust me. If nothing else, trust that I believe what I'm saying and I'm not lying. You may still disagree with me, which is perfectly fine, but I hope that you will at least see that I'm, trying my best. And what I'm expressing is my observations based on being a Mason for 20 years, attending Masonic Lodge meetings around the world, over 1,000 Masonic Lodge meetings. Um, because of that, I can say the Waits experience, Freemasonry does not worship the devil. Um, well, thank you, Eric. Right. And again, that's why, even though I think my experience with members of the Catholic faith is great people. They are, charitable and kind. Pope Leo the 13th got it incorrect on Freemasonry, and they've had the incorrect stance for a long time. I did say I had hope that Pope Leo the 14th, because he was born in Chicago in 1959 and would have had more experience with Freemasonry because Freemasonry was so ubiquitous in the States at that time. I was hoping he may have reconsidered the Catholic view on Freemasonry, but so far, no dice. The eye does not belong to Lucifer. The eye is actually a very common symbol in many different traditions. It was called the Eye of Ra, the Eye of Providence. Um, Freemasonry borrowed a lot of different symbols from a lot of different organizations and groups. Um, Not quite from the 1500s. I think Caesar, if I recall correctly, the first statement from the Catholic Church on Freemasonry was, I believe, in 1730. Let me double check. I want to get the date right. Um, 1738. 1738 by Pope Clement the 12th. Look, I don't know if it could ever change or not. I choose to keep my hopes up because you never know. Um, but I think that in terms of the modern interpretation of Freemasonry amongst the Catholic kind of institution, I believe it was primarily cemented through, again, Humanum Genus, which was written by Pope Leo the 13th in 1888. Um, so I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say for sure. Caesar, I don't know. There must have been times in its history where the Catholic Church has changed its stance on something. Having said that, I don't know what the process would be or how you go about it. Who knows what can happen though? Um, I am a Mason. So, Aaron, it is not exclusively for men. That is one of the misconceptions of Freemasonry. There is the Order of Women Freemasons. There's Eastern Star. There is Co-Masonry as well. There's a lot of different Masonic orders for both men and women. Um, they tend to be either male or female exclusive, so I cannot join the Order of Women Freemasons, nor could a woman, join a quote unquote regular or AF and AM lodge. But they're both valuable parts of the Masonic family, and I'm proud to call the Order of Women Freemasons my, brethren within Freemasonry. Looking like a guy from Boston, but I can pronounce the letter R though. I don't say ka, I say car. In fairness, I mean, I can't speak of Mary. I hope, Caesar, you will at least trust me. If you don't feel like you can trust me, then so be it. I do appreciate you being here nonetheless. To my knowledge, King Charles is not a Freemason. His dad was a Mason, but I don't believe that he was a Freemason. At least that's to my knowledge. I hope everybody watching this will do a few things for me. I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe button. I also hope you'll mark on your calendars January 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern, where I will be having a 24-hour content marathon starting 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, the weights, when you say the weights, are you referring to Tom Waits? Because if you are, that's awesome. I don't even know if that's the correct spelling of his name, to be honest. Um, HCVR, please hit like and subscribe. Um, XF54, please hit like and subscribe. Um, well, Judas was not a Freemason. He could not have been because Freemasonry did not exist in, what was it, 0 AD or whatever, 33 AD. Whenever he was alive, Freemasonry did not exist. It did not exist until 1717 or 1634, perhaps. Also, Hitler was not a Freemason. Hitler was very much opposed to Freemasonry. He actually outlawed Freemasonry within Germany during the Third Reich. So he definitely was not a Freemason either. Um, it's funny how people 677 will always tell me both they hate Freemasonry and I'm not a Freemason. All right, you can believe whatever you want, but you're wrong and you are a foolish person. Um, I did not give my legs to the Freemasons, Paul Till. Foolish people believe foolish things. I was born missing my legs. Um, Freemasonry has not existed since the beginnings of the Bible. Stone masonry has existed since the beginning of the Bible, and some of the practices of stonemasons were adopted into Freemasonry, at least in a symbolic or ritualistic sense. But Freemasonry, the social club or civic organization, did not exist until 1634 at the earliest, when the first speculative masons were brought into a lodge in Scotland. Um, I think X54, you don't know the history of Freemasonry. I think you've been watching too many foolish YouTube videos. Again, that's not to say that Freemasonry did not borrow the symbolism of stonemasons, but that's a different thing. Well, one, then I guess you think I am scum. So be it. Freemasons aren't millionaires. I know many Freemasons who are not millionaires. I don't know any millionaire Freemasons. Hit that like and subscribe button. Um, well, the ancient Egyptians knew a thing or two about stone masonry, and when Freemasonry was developing its rituals, we looked back to ancient Egypt for inspiration when developing certain symbols and rituals and ceremonies, because ancient Egypt was really popular in the 16th, 17th, 18th centuries Europe when these Masonic rituals were being formed. Well, then I guess people should join the Knights of Columbus. Our aprons are based upon stone masons who wore aprons to protect their garments from damage while doing their work. I'm sure that stone masons in ancient Egypt wore those aprons. I have no doubt. Um, but a lot of them are just plain white lambskin. You need to keep that in mind as well. Um, Well, then I guess I'm a weakling, 677. I'm be called worse by better. But what I'd point out to you is saying that is like saying if you have to listen to music to have a good time, you're a weakling. I mean, I enjoy listening to music, so I do. I enjoy Freemasonry, so I join, right? It's not the exclusive way to get a sense of community. Maybe it's not even everybody's best way, but it's my best way because I enjoy it. Why is that not good enough? Um, Well, Mormonism is definitely not a Masonic front, nor did it steal anything. Well, I guess you could maybe argue it did. I don't like that term, though. The founder of Mormonism, Joseph Smith, was a Freemason. To my knowledge, we're going to use the term borrowed because we're going to be nice. Many different Masonic ideals and symbols when developing the Mormon faith. To my knowledge, having said that, I'm not a Mormon. I've never been to a Mormon church, but they're definitely not a front, right? Mormonism is within the spiritual or religious kind of area space. Freemasonry occupies the community or civic space. Um, Solomon is a biblical figure, most likely mythological and not actual. However, again, a mythological figure can provide lessons, as he does within Freemasonry. Um, well, what's weird to one might not be weird to the other. I mean, the type of music you enjoy may be weird to me, whereas, vice versa, right? Just because something is weird to you doesn't mean it's weird. You seem like a very judgmental person. 677. Freemasonry is not demonic. You can rebuke whomever you so choose. This is a Masonic thing, Moldy Bones. This is me talking about Freemasonry because I love Freemasonry. Um, God's name is Jesus. So the grand architect is not a specific person or being or entity. If you have a Muslim Freemason, to them, the grand architect may be of the Muslim faith. If you have a Christian, it'll be Jesus. Maybe not, Cole. That's not something I'm going to tell you. You got to join to find out. Um, so I don't know for sure, Caesar, what Solomon was. He may have been a mythical figure, he may be a historical figure, a theological figure, or some combination of all of the above, right? I'm not a biblical expert. I'm actually trying to get somebody on stream. Certainly, my suspicion is not every story about King Solomon is necessarily true because history can be challenging in terms of, recording history from far away. But I do have a great deal of respect for the figure of Solomon. Again, how much of him is accurately recorded? I don't know, right? I think you need to be really careful because when it comes to historical figures, biblical figures, theological figures, there's probably a combination, right? Um, Skull and Bones is to my knowledge, it's an organization out of Yale University. It's like a fraternity. Thank you, son of Sammy. Well, but I did not sacrifice my legs. Freemasonry is not demonic. I'm proud to be a Freemason. I've been a Freemason for almost 20 years. Um, so the Masonic order is not Luciferian. You don't think in terms of ranks. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make in Freemasonry. There are no ranks. The highest degree within Freemasonry is the third degree. After that, it's appendant bodies. Um, the Waits experience. What's the point of Freemasonry? The point of Freemasonry depends on each individual Mason. For me, the point of Freemasonry is the belief that the world can be made better through the application of brotherly love, relief, and truth. Caesar, if you want to learn what the 5 points of fellowship are, then join Freemasonry. I'm not going to say what that is, other than we have many different Masonic symbols and rituals and practices, all of which are meant to convey not spiritual lessons, but practical lessons to how to live better within the world. Um, so here's what I'll say, Troy. When you talk about higher degrees and all that nonsense, the problem is you're judging Freemasonry based on a single degree. For example, most Freemasons, if you want to know what is necessary to Freemasonry, it's the first 3 degrees. Without those first 3 degrees, Freemasonry would cease to exist, right? You can remove, and I'm not saying you should, because I love my 33rd degree brethren, and I love all of my Scottish Rite Masons. You could remove the 33rd degree, it would not change anything for 99% of Freemasons. It's not fundamental to what Freemasonry is. What's fundamental to Freemasonry is the entered apprentice, fellow craft, and master Masons, and that is the foundation upon which Freemasonry exists. But again, moldy bones. There is no such thing as the higher ranks. The highest rank within Freemasonry is the 3rd degree. I'll give you an example. I was in a lodge last year. There were 7 members present. One was a 33rd degree Mason. The rest were 3rd degree Masons, or in one case, a 1st degree entered apprentice Mason. There was a vote. The 6 voted one way, the 33rd voted the other way, and the motion carried. Being a 33rd doesn't grant you any extra authority, power, voting rights, control of a lodge. You're still a member, just with an honorific title. You do not have to throw parties or fundraisers to move up. I mean, the way you move up is by demonstrating your proficiency in the former degree. Certainly, if you want to become more, I don't know, like more active within Freemasonry, you can hold social events and functions. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Masonic lodges this weekend holding Super Bowl parties, but Freemasonry is not demonic, Troy, and this is not AI. This is a human being. It's more than a social group, but it is at its core, at its most fundamental level, a social group. That is the foundation upon which it rests. I'm not York Rite. I'm actually Scottish Rite, but I have great respect for my York Rite brethren. I don't know when you refer to York Rite, if you're referring to York Rite as in Preston Webb York, or York is in the appendant body, but either case, I'm emulation ritual. No, Troy, it is not demonic, and I can respond to you all night. So you keep saying it is, and I'll keep saying it's not. We'll see who gets bored first. Although in fairness, I can end the stream soon because it's 1:44 in the morning, and I got to get to sleep at some point. Yeah, I think that'd be a better category, brotherhood. Now that I don't want to, use the gendered term because we do have the Order of Women Freemasons, but it's the way to think about it is as a type of brotherhood. To my knowledge, Smithsonian is not a Masonic group. Smithsonian is a museum. The number 33rd is the highest is the highest kind of Scottish Rite degree. It's not the highest degree in Freemasonry, though. That's the third degree. Um, so none of that is true, Caesar. Um, this dude is a low level nobody. And yet here I am still chatting away. Isn't the Smithsonian a museum? I could have swore the Smithsonian is a museum. Um, well, Cole, at the start, what you need to do is find a Masonic lodge in your area, express your interest in joining, and you go from there. Those pillars may or may not be important, Eric. For that, you got to join Freemasonry to find out. It's not demonic. It's just foolish people believing foolish things. In my experience, very often it comes from actually not even so much being foolish as being almost a codependent relationship with conspiracy. I suspect a lot of people who think Freemasonry is demonic or satanic, or pick your term, are leading challenging lives. And instead of focusing on how they can create a better life for themselves, they want to focus on creating a boogeyman on which they can express their fears. At least that's been my experience. Order out of chaos. Luca Brazzi, you can keep saying satanic. You're incorrect, but you're welcome to believe whatever you so choose. Millionaire Mike, I mean, I can't speak for the Orthodox Church. What I will say is we within Freemasonry welcome people of all different faiths and beliefs, so long as you believe in so long as you believe in a supreme being. So I'm sure the Orthodox Church would, I would welcome an Orthodox Church member without issue. Yes, Freemasonry involves a ton of Egyptian symbols. Kabbalah, not as much necessarily, but there's some parallels, but a ton of Egyptian symbols. Neither. Jose, please like and subscribe. And you definitely do not sacrifice. The one thing you sacrifice to join Freemasonry is your time, nothing else. So that's a very foolish thing to say, Boston George. I've known Sikhs within Freemasonry. A couple Sikhs, a couple Hindus. 33rd degree does not include child sacrifice. No degrees include child sacrifice. Lots of foolish people on the stream today. But that's okay because it drives up engagement. More people find me. I get to talk about Freemasonry, which is a thing I love. How many of them are there? How many Freemasons are there? There's no precise number. My guesstimate would be about 6 million worldwide, which is a rough estimate. So I have no idea how many Sikhs are in Freemasonry. I've known a couple, but I have no idea the number. Well, it's not a cult, but memorization is a demonstration that something's important, right? The reason I have my address memorized, my social insurance number memorized, emergency contacts memorized, is because it's important, and it's a demonstration that I recognize the importance of it. I mean, Jason, that's perfectly fine. If it doesn't sit right with you, don't be a Freemason. That's no worries at all. Find something that sits right with you. There's nothing wrong with trusting your gut. Freemasonry is not for everybody, and that's perfectly okay. In the same way, for me, I've been interested in joining clubs, joined them, and just found I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought. So, I chose not to stick around. Same thing for me and some even churches. I went to church, just didn't feel right. For me, for whatever reason, I tend to get enjoyment out of Freemasonry. But that's me personally. Just because I enjoy it doesn't mean everybody will, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So Freemasonry is not a religious group. We do have rituals or ceremonies, the term I prefer. Caesar. And Freemasons are not a religious group for 3 reasons. First, we make no promises of salvation nor threats of damnation. Nobody should join Freemasonry or become a Freemason because they think that will get them into heaven or keep them from hell. Freemasonry has nothing to do with that. If anybody came to me and said, I want to join Freemasonry to get to heaven, my response would be go to church, go to mosque, go to wherever it is you need to go. That's a religious question, not a Masonic question. Freemasonry is also not a religion because it allows for individual interpretations. Within a church, you notice everybody sits facing one direction, towards the priest, the rabbi, the imam, whatever it might be. Because you have a religious book, you have religious practices, but you have one, interpretation that's allowed and that's given to you through the church elders or the church staff. Within Freemasonry, everybody is not facing one direction. They're all facing towards each other or inward because they are allowed their own interpretations of both Freemasonry and their own personal faith, whatever it might be. And third, to my knowledge, no Masonic lodge, I could be wrong about this, but no Masonic lodge is under the same tax bracket as any church, certainly not in the States. They don't get religious exemptions or anything like that. So that's why it's not a religion. Boston, Jesus Christ is welcome to see me. Assassin's Creed 3 Sam Frost is based on Freemasonry, and that's really, really cool. At least it has a lot of Masonic symbols in it. I've actually posted some videos about that. Freemasonry is not political, so we have members of all different political beliefs, Democrat, Republican. In fact, within Freemasonry, we are not allowed to speak about religion politics while in lodge. So I would say I'm more left-leaning from an American perspective. In Canada, I'd be a little bit more rightward-leaning because Canada's a different spectrum. Jason, that's baloney. The number one rule is not protect the brotherhood. The number one rule within Freemasonry is to be a good man and true. That goes all the way back to the Anderson Constitutions of 1723. User, I will not repent. I'm proud to be a Freemason. You have to believe in a supreme being, Boston, George. Not necessarily God per se, but a supreme being. You can be a Christian. More power to you. It's just dry. I have the problem. I have dry lips. I got to work on that. But thank you for the heads up. Dealing with all these trolls, I tell you. I have no idea, Legend. I have no idea what the percentage is. I will say, generally speaking, the way it works is whatever your kind of, we're going to make sure this isn't too bad, whatever the majority kind of religious beliefs are within your community are going to be reflected in the Masonic Lodge. So if you're in a community that is majority Muslim, it'll be majority Muslim within the lodge. I am all handsome, Will Vincent. That's what matters. I think God maybe cares about me. I don't know. Martin, I don't discuss Masonic ceremonies at any levels, higher or lower. So I will say, if you want to know, got to join Freemasonry. I am a 18th degree Scottish Rite. That's the highest I've gone within Freemasonry. Masons can cross the Mason-Dixie line. Johnny, let's not have any talk of or desire for violence within the chat. How about that? No discussion of violence. Well, Cole, you can believe whatever you want. What I would say is I would hope you would believe me based on my experiences within Freemasonry and my 20 years being a Freemason, my thousands of Masonic meetings around the world. I've been to Masonic meetings everywhere from the Philippines to North America, South America, Europe. So keep that in mind. So I am from Canada, born and raised, proud to be in Canada. Does it influence my view of Freemasonry? It influences the rituals which I perform. Because being Canadian, we are under emulation ritual. which is different than York Rite ritual or Preston Webb ritual. But I don't think it influences my views on Freemasonry. I think whether I was in Canada or the United States or Europe, it would be the same views. I mean, I think my views on Freemasonry are based on my personality. There's something about my personality that really loves Freemasonry, especially its teachings of universal tolerance. I do. Windsor, Ontario. Um, I mean, both. Truth. I actually was a comedian. I did a stand-up comedy for a few years. I really loved it. But we are not Satanists, Bruce. Um, I love Coca-Cola. I know it's not the healthiest, so drink water. Don't drink this stuff. But I do. I am a big fan of soda pop. Um, DMLA. Okay, DMLA is a Masonic youth group. It's one of a couple. There's also Rainbow. Um, we do not use hypnosis in Freemasonry. I mean, I suppose you could argue there's in some ways what you could call self hypnosis. Sometimes being engaged in a ceremony, you can kind of start to feel a bit of self hypnosis because you're so focused on the work or the ritual. But I mean, that's a very loose definition of the term. I did comedy. I did comedy all around Windsor and even traveled to Chicago a few times. Yeah, I know. I got dry lips. I'm always working on that. I always have to deal with that. But I have no idea who that is, legend. I've grown to accept my dry lips. Interesting enough, in terms of the votes, right now we've got, let's see, 52 votes. What does Freemasonry need to grow? Membership is the highest at 33%. Other leave a comment is at 46%. Um, what do I think of Mark Carney? Well, honestly, I've said this before. Freemasonry is not political. I'm giving my personal opinion. I think we need to look at diversifying our trade. There is, for better or worse, a new economic kind of situation happening. Part of that means Canada needs to find more trading partners. Um, my name is Cameron. I go by Screen Compass Promotions, but Cameron Adamson. Um, The reason for Freemasonry's origins was um, kind of upper crust-ish members in Scotland and England wanted to be part of a social group or social club and decided to join Masonic lodges. It was the desire to belong to something greater than oneself. Aleister Crowley was maybe a Freemason, um, although it's questionable because he supposedly joined a Masonic lodge in Mexico that was never recorded, and then joined the Grand Orient. So there's some evidence he was actually or is actually a clandestine and not a legit Mason. It gets complicated. A lot of people consider him clandestine. Um, I mean, I don't even think Freemasonry is a rich guy club. Uh, I've known a lot of Masons who aren't rich. I would say it is magical within Freemasonry if you respond to it in the sense of in the same way I find it magical to listen to my favorite song because I love it. There's something about Freemasonry that really speaks to me. But not everybody will feel that magic, and that's perfectly fine. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Albert Pike was a Freemason, but he's a pain in my ass because every non-Freemason reads more than dogma and then thinks they know about Freemasonry, which is very annoying. Um, the battle might be on the Catholic side. I would have no issue with Catholics. I got no beef with them. I think I don't want to be a reviler of anyone's religion. I think their views on Freemasonry are baloney, but when it comes to their religious beliefs and their beliefs in Jesus, nothing but respect for them. Nothing but respect for a lot of good things the Catholic Church and faith has done over the years, including there's a Catholic church very close to where I live. They were doing, food banks and meals for homeless people, and just meals, not just for the homeless, but for the entire community. Nothing but respect to them for that. Jason, I've known many Jewish people. They're good. I mean, I don't judge anybody based on like categories like that. The beautiful thing about Freemasonry is it's tolerant of different religions, beliefs, ethnicities. I've known many Jewish members, great part of the craft. Um, yeah, there are a lot of people can be Catholic and Masonic, despite what is thought. I know a lot of Catholic Freemasons. Um, so I've never seen anybody desecrate the Eucharist. If I were ever in a Masonic meeting and someone were to desecrate the Eucharist, I would be very disappointed in them and I'd probably leave. I try to stop them. I'm not even Catholic myself. I just think that would be, you don't want to be disrespectful to anybody's faith. It's wrong to mock anybody's faith. You can mock specific aspects, not even mock. You can disagree with aspects of the faith. Like I disagree with the Catholic position on Freemasonry. That's not the same thing. You shouldn't mock the faith itself or the tenets of the faith. I've never met a satanic Freemason. The CIA does not control Freemasonry. Um, my teeth are big and ugly. Please hit like and subscribe, XX Descore. And if the CIA is here, more power to them. I wish them nothing but the best. You know, welcome. Hello, Ivan. Please hit the like and subscribe button. 717J. Um, putting, sorry if I put words in your mouth, LJ. I didn't mean to. I'm not even sure what words I put in your mouth. Basically, again, like I've said, Catholics, great parts of Freemasonry. Catholic members are great. If you don't want to join and you're Catholic, join Knights of Columbus. I think civic society is the most important thing. Um, well, I've never seen a Mason try to like desecrate the communion wafer or whatever it's called, the Eucharist, and I would be disappointed if any did, because we should not be revilers of anyone's religion or anyone's religious faith. Um, well, if I get a few more subscribers, maybe that will cure me of any diseases I have. Um, I was disciplined for nothing, the big bad bear. I was born missing my legs, if that's what you're getting to, because you people are crazy. Um, Somebody asked above, they said Catholics versus Freemasons. There is no beef, at least on the Masonic side, is the point. I will not do that because I'm doing this on my phone at the moment, so I don't really have time to do that. But maybe after. What is that? 8931. What is the Arctic tree foil? I've never heard of the Jesuits conspiracy, so I can't say. Well, it would be bad. You should not do that. Um, because Masonic rituals and meetings are not secret, but they're meant to be private. Plus, the term infiltrate, I'm not a big fan of that term. I mean, you can just join a Masonic lodge, but don't bring a camera into it for a lot of different reasons. But people have a right to their privacy. You know, it'd be no different than if I were to go sneak into someone's home and start filming it, recording it. But in many of our buildings, you don't need to sneak in. Many of our buildings are open to the public. They have public events, tours, and you're more than welcome to bring your camera and take pictures. I mean, the Detroit Masonic Temple, the Windsor Masonic Temple, United Grand Lodge of England, Philadelphia, all offer tours of their buildings in which you are encouraged to take pictures and post them on social media. I am a Master Mason, MM Traveling Man. I'm going to assume, based on that title, you are as well. Having said that, I always warn everybody, just because someone says they're a Mason or has a Masonic, wearing a Masonic ring or has a Masonic avatar, you just have to go through the proper cautions. But yes, I've been a Mason since 2007. Currently the Worshipful Master of Border Cities Lodge number 554 in Windsor. T-Dog, you know the way to not be freaked out? Hit the like and subscribe button. If you do that, you will not be freaked out. And mark on your calendar, January 21st, 2 p.m., 24-hour content marathon. Crocker Lodge, Daly City, California. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope that you're doing well. I hope you hit the like and subscribe button. And I appreciate you joining me very much. I started this channel to talk about, promote the ways Freemasonry was and is relevant to communities in which it's located, and talk about stories of Masonic interest and see if maybe I could turn my passion for Freemasonry into a profession through content creation. So we shall see. Yes, Caesar, it would be bad to do all of those things. It would be bad to do all of those things. But I think you know that. An elderly man. We had some people from England visit a few different lodges. I have seen Join or Die, MM Traveling Man, not on Netflix. I saw it in Alma, Michigan at a Masonic care home. They're doing a screening of it. Great movie. I wish it was titled something different because it gives conspiracy theorists all sorts of ammunition when you call the movie Join or Die. But I also read the book on which it's based, Bowling Alone. It's a great book. It's a great movie. I've talked about it on stream in the past and encouraged other Masons to check it out because it's a really, really great movie and great book, and it's very accurate. It identified the problems that Freemasonry was facing and is still facing as early as I think it was 1992. It would still be wrong, Caesar. Tours as well. So you don't need to infiltrate anything. If you want to take pictures, at least of a Masonic building, then take a tour of the Grand Lodge of California. I've been to the Grand Lodge of California for a couple of the Grand Lodge communications. You may have seen me. I'm in a wheelchair from Canada. Absolutely stunning building in San Francisco. A true Masonic jewel. Like the building is unbelievably beautiful. And you guys deserve nothing but credit for maintaining that building for so many years. Um, what do you think about Scientology? I don't know a lot about Scientology, key 2379. Um, sorry, 2319. I have no beef with it. I mean, to my understanding, it's a religious belief, I believe, and I'm not going to revile anyone's religious beliefs. Um, so L. Ron Hubbard, Caesar, to my knowledge, was not a Freemason. I think you're incorrect about that. It does look a little bit Egyptian. The Grand Lodge of California in San Francisco is unbelievable. One of my greatest memories is going to it. Actually, hold on just 1 second. I'll be right back. Let me see if I can grab quickly. I'm not going far. So these are all of my pins. I'm getting them. I'm getting them. So these are all of my pins. I got a bunch of these in California. Masons do need younger members. You're not incorrect. I do not know what that means. Plastic. Please hit like and subscribe. Also, I don't think Kevin Spacey could be a Freemason, but I don't think he is. So here's one I got from California. Check out how cool that is if you're a Star Trek fan. I was not injured in a Masonic ritual. People are just foolish and believe dumb things. I was born missing my legs. So ignore the stupid trolls. I don't want to get rid of them because I hope if they stick around, they'll learn something. But, people are dumb. I've got a bunch of pins on here from California. I got to go through them all. But yeah, these are all my Masonic pins. All right, Caesar. I'm going to have to put you in timeout for a second. Let's just give you a quick timeout for you to calm down a bit. People are going to be mean on stream. I've learned you just have to accept it. If you want it, that's the price you pay for playing baseball. Stacy, my dad's a Freemason as well, as am I, as are my grandfathers. I am from Canada, Diesel. Hello, Silence and Violence. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Well, Anna, I'm sorry that your dad is a loser bum. I might be a loser bum too. Who knows? But I am a Freemason and I'm proud of it. Um, Okay, I mean, honestly, if he has dementia and he's old enough, you could talk to the lodge. Some lodges will forgive, not even forgive, just cancel dues if the member is old enough. For what it's worth, and every lodge is different. Ontario, long distance, please hit like and subscribe. Nice. I mean, honestly, um, you act, honestly, traveling, you are seeing it's more and more common in the last maybe decade for the son to join Freemasonry first and then the father to join Freemasonry after the fact, which is a really kind of interesting new thing that's happening. Um, but some people really enjoy being the first in their family to join Freemasonry. It kind of feels to them like they're starting on a new path, which is really, really cool. Um, However it works, right? There is no single way to do it, I think is the point. A lot of people will say, you need to have a bloodline to join Freemasonry or you need to have a family connection. You don't. You can join Freemasonry without having any previous family members being Freemasons. Or you can have, fathers, grandfathers, great grandfathers can be Freemasons and you can join as well. Whatever it is, the most important thing is that it is of your own free will and accord. I've had people on the streams in the past say, you are born into Freemasonry. You're not born into Freemasonry. Freemasonry, one of the beautiful things about it is it requires you to join of your own free will and accord. If you're born into it, then by definition, you're not joining of your own free will and accord. So you need to keep that in mind. I mean, a lot of famous singers and artists have been um, photographed and filmed at the Grand Lodge in Nashville, Tennessee, including Thousand Horses. They actually filmed their video "Smoke" there. Dolly Parton, a few others. Um, I have not, Anna. I have never been worried for my own safety while Freemasoning or anybody else. Freemasonry is not dangerous. Now, there are anti-Masonic groups out there that threaten violence. You need to be careful for those. But the way to respond to that is not to be afraid. It's to just be open about who we are, what we are, and why I love Freemasonry. Interesting. 75 votes. What does Freemasonry need to grow? Membership is at 28%, which is in the lead after other leave a comment. Um, Violence is never good, though. Colonel Sanders was a Freemason, as was Dave Thomas. So that's a cool little note, if anybody's interested in that tidbit. Yeah, I don't know if you can turn the word Freemason into a verb, but I tried my best there. I tried my best with that one for whatever it's worth. Um, let's give this another couple minutes, then we'll be ending this stream. I will be back on tomorrow at 1 a.m. because I do these streams 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. Monday through Friday. The exception is going to be on the 21st, where it's going to be a 2 p.m. stream, 24 hours. It's going to be fun. I don't build anything. Freemasonry does not build things. Freemasonry is a social group. The building is done by stonemasons, which is a profession. It's a separate organization. Um, is Bob Seger a Freemason? I had no idea. Sometimes people don't like to talk about being a Freemason. It just depends. I have no idea who that is. Is that the, um, I mean, what is he? You mean the rock and roll singer? I mean, if he is a Freemason, all the better. He's from Detroit. A lot of Freemasons in Detroit. Well, um, I mean, you certainly can keep in touch. I would say, if you want to find me, the best way to do so is Instagram or email at square underscore and underscore compass underscore promotions, or search Square and Compass Promotions on Google, and then shoot me off a message to the Contact Us page. And I'd love to get in touch with you as well. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Sorry, not Acorn, Square and Compass. That's how you get in touch. Shrek is Love. I used to like that movie. I mean, I'm never a huge fan of cartoons, but I know my cousins used to like that movie, so I watched it a few times. He may have. Elvis was into a lot of stuff. Keep in mind, and Manly P. Hall was not a Freemason when he wrote The Secret Teachings of All Ages. He joined after the fact, so you need to keep that in mind. Um, Honestly, most people say I have a very high pitched voice. My voice is so deep because I'm awesome, and awesome people have deep voices. Daniel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And everybody, mark on your calendars 24-hour stream coming up and a marathon. And let your friends know, let your brethren know if you're part of Free, Masonic Lodge. I would much appreciate it. We are 2 subs away from 3,320. So help a brother out. Some cases, literally. Check out my other videos. Find me on other sites, all that good jazz. Bro, if you want to join Freemasonry, to be one, ask one. You need to find a Masonic Lodge in your area and speak to them about potentially joining. However, if you want to join this channel, become a subscriber, become a member. Subscribing you can do for free. I say all that jazz and all that good jazz. It's actually something I say all the time, as people have pointed out to me. So, what can I say? I talk crazy sometimes. I talk like an old school dude. I have a cat, Anna. I have a cat named Bandit. Bandit is the greatest cat ever. I don't like to brag. I know it's a surprise that I happen to adopt the greatest, most beautiful cat in the world, but I did. I did. I have one cat. I've always liked cats. I love animals. Honestly, I probably like animals more than people. Having said that, I do love cats the most. Awesome, bro. Both my grandfathers and my father were Freemasons. At the moment, no, because I don't know where she is. She's probably sleeping on my bed at the moment. Um, but maybe you tune in on the 21st. I had no idea, MM. That is awesome that Nick Offerman is a Freemason. Very cool. I like his stuff from Parks and Rec. He's funny. I mean, I would careful to define barely. I mean, it has probably 850,000 Masons in the United States, give or take. Now, it has barely any members compared to what it used to have 50 years ago. But we're working on it. I'm working on it. Maybe this stream will help. Who knows? If it does, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Either way, it's about me doing my best. Um, I mean, again, I would not use the term dying. I would definitely use the term it's declining. Whether we turn it around or not, who knows? Um, Daniel, you can identify as whatever you want, just as long as you identify as a subscriber to this channel. That's the most important thing. Um, I've been known to identify as a problem as well, or I've been known to have others identify as a problem. Identify me as a problem, which is probably fair. Demon Talk, hit that like and subscribe button as well. Oddfellows, excellent organization, excellent group, a lot of connections to Freemasonry, interestingly enough. Yes, there you go. So be the subscribed gender, please. I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. I think with that, we got up to our 3,320. So we are on the way. Well, I mean, again, that's why I asked the question about growth in the stream. I can talk about it tomorrow. What does it mean for Freemasonry to grow? What do we actually need to grow? Do we need to grow our membership numbers? Do we need to grow our attendance at lodge? Do we need to grow our finances? Do we need to grow our relevance? Right? One of the biggest challenges within Freemasonry is there's a lot of talk about needing to grow Freemasonry, but we're not always clear what that means. And I don't even always know what that means. Again, does it mean growing our membership numbers, or does it mean getting the members we have to attend lodge more regularly, right? There's no question, though, that within its relevance in day-to-day life, Freemasonry has definitely declined, unfortunately. It doesn't have to be the case, though. I think we can turn that around through hard work and dedication. I definitely think it's possible to see a change. And I'm speaking specifically for the North American context. Freemasonry is going like gangbusters in the Philippines, Brazil, South America. Even though ultimate, like real numbers, Freemasonry may still have more membership in America than, let's say, Brazil. It's growing in Brazil quite a bit, in Cuba, Philippines. I was at, let's see, 3,320. Thank you guys so much. Everybody who subscribes, who shows up, it helps me with my goal, with my dream of turning my passion for Freemasonry into a profession. So thank you. I'm honored if you're here. Thank you, Kelly Deathstark. Um, Greatly honored. Honestly, it is a club. It's not exclusively a men's club. There's the Order of Women Freemasons out of England and Ontario. There's Eastern Star. There's liberal orders. But it should be about good chat and fellowship and friendship and kindness. Ultimately, it should be about enjoying one another's company, right? In many ways, you could argue, I speak exclusively for myself. In many ways, you could argue that Freemasonry is a very formalized, structured version of a guy's night out. Um, I mean, define define much more behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot to Freemasonry. Very little of it's behind the scenes. Our charitable works are out there in public. Our social functions, our events, right? I think we need to get more in public. Like one of my good friends who's a Freemason out of Dearborn, Michigan, he was telling me that after every meeting, he makes it a point for him and his brothers to go to a different restaurant in the town because he wants people to see that Freemasons are out, we're in the public, and we're supportive of the community and the restaurants and the businesses therein. Um, Great, that's good enough. If you enjoy the conversations, I appreciate you being here. Um, we're working on it, but that Freemason is not free yet, but we're still trying. If he ever became free, it'd be concerning because then what would I talk about? All right, let's give this another, let's say 2 minutes. Then we're going to end this stream because I got to get myself to sleep, get ready for the next couple days. Um, Thank you, everybody who, though, has been part of the chat. I very much appreciate it. Consider doing a super chat. Just 99 cents helps out big time. And thank everybody who voted on my poll question as well. Charles Manson was not a Freemason. I do not know the answer to that riddle. That looks like a riddle to me. I mean, don't think about it in terms of top end Freemasons. That's not really how it works. Um, Thank you, MM. I hope you enjoyed this stream. I hope my answers to you made sense. Let me know if you think I got anything wrong. But I appreciate you being here. There's no such thing as a top Freemason. That's not the term I would use. There are offices and there are degrees. The third degree is the highest degree within Freemasonry, and the highest office within Freemasonry is Worshipful Master. Freemasonry is not a religion. We have members of all different religious faiths and beliefs. Um, I'm not a Christian. I have no idea what the mark of the beast would be. I do not know. Um, I know what it's not, hitting the like and subscribe button. If you do that, that's a good thing to do. But I got nothing as to what it could be. Um, do I believe in the mark of the beast? I mean, again, I'm not Christian. When I hear Mark of the Beast, what I think of is that's a Christian term, but I don't necessarily know. I mean, I guess not. No, Freemasonry, I mean, there may be Masonic scientists, but none that I know of are involved in gain of research function. I don't even know exactly what that is. My soul, I think, is doing quite well, but I appreciate you being here. Icy Stoner, I hope that you're doing well. Thank you to everybody who's helped make this stream a success. And I hope you will mark on your calendars January 21st, 2 p.m. Eastern. Um, all right, we don't say that, Silence. We don't end our streams that way. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have an excellent, excellent night. Well, then just keep coming back to my stream. You're more than welcome. Um, well, I definitely don't believe in the end of the world. I mean, I would be concerned about how much longer we have to be on this world and I have to start making better decisions. But that's not the end of the world. That's humankind making stupid choices. All right, guys. Talk to y'all soon. Have a good night.